Hello, I'm called Tim, and it's around noon, which means it's time for my live hangout. Today, or actually yesterday, the Rent Review Board for New York City voted to increase rent 1% for 1 year leases, 2.5%, I believe, for 2 year leases, or 2.7% for 2 year leases. Now, first of all, Mayor Deblasio put 5 members on the Rent Review Board, and it's a 9 member board. So the majority of the people are the mayor's appointees. The mayor wanted 0% increase. He wanted a rent freeze. He pushed for it. The tenants of New York City, which is the majority of the people in New York City, pushed for it. And still, the people on the board, which he appointed and which he pushed for, still voted for a rent hike, which shows you that no matter who's in office, the system still leans toward its masters. Of course it would. Why wouldn't it? The elite. Now, when Bloomberg was running things, the Rent Review Board did everything he said. But de Blasio can't even control his own members, the people he put there. And of course, they're supposed to be independent of the mayor once he appoints them, but they were never independent when Bloomberg was there. It's funny how they're always independent when it's time to lean toward the owner class. Well, that's no surprise. If you watch this hangout, you know why that is. You know why we need alternative systems. Dark people across the city are going to be homeless. Add to the ranks of the homelessness. I'm one of them. I'm out here struggling, trying to make it. Why? Because I'm dark and I speak my mind. I don't take drugs. I don't take alcohol. And I refuse to pick up a gun and shoot my brother. I refuse to sell dope to my brothers and sisters. I refuse to rape the children's minds in the school system. So I want to educate people for real. And so I'm what you would call unemployed, although I do make money, a small amount, off of these hangouts, which gets me to a point. If you would like to support this hangout, click the GoFundMe link. Let's get back to what's going to happen with this rent increase. So yes, there are going to be more homeless people, and de Blasio is either going to have to open up public housing, what we used to call the projects, put us in trailers until he builds public housing, and this has been done before in, I believe, the 60s. The projects that I grew up in was built that way. And what's going to happen with this 1% increase? Well, the landlords are going to claim that 1% is not enough to maintain these buildings, and they're not going to be maintained properly. Buildings are barely being maintained properly today. I know I've stayed in a few of them. Some of them are slums, even though they charge you high rents. At the rent review decision, one of the tenants wept. She was so frustrated, so tired, and she can't do it. She can't pay, not 1%, not one more dollar. So we'll see if de Blasio has the courage to build some public housing. Who knows? He's so obsessed with 100% people going to kindergarten, pre-K. What good is it for a child to go to pre-K when they don't have a house to live in or nowhere to stay, no permanent residence? What's the point? Even if you accept them into pre-K, how are they going to get there when they have to live in different shelters every night? It's nonsense. And the political system is retarded. It's stupid. And you can see it reflected in the policies. Now, some of these landlords, because they're not going to make good repairs, they may continue to burn down the buildings. We've been here before as well in New York City. The whole South Bronx was burned down by landlords to get insurance and to get rid of the properties. Some landlords may walk away from properties, and if they do, and if you're a tenant in one, stay there, take over the building, and run it. Because once the landlord abandons it, it can become yours. I urge that you do that. For the rest of us, we're just going to struggle on. And as for me personally, like I said, if you hit the GoFundMe link, if you give support, I can have a place to stay. If you don't, I won't. But I will continue to do this hangout until I cannot anymore. Because real education is important. Real education coming from someone who looks like me is highly important. I'm not on here dressed up like a woman. I'm not on here telling jokes. I'm not on here singing and dancing. I'm studying, researching, analyzing, and presenting it to you. I'm trying to inform my community, which is dead, and any community that wants to hear reality, which in this country, a country of make-believe, is difficult. So, if any of my viewers or anyone in the chat room would like to speak now, or forever hold your peace. Going once, going twice. Until next time, if you are sane, keep your head up. It's everyone else that's the problem, not you.